This is the castle that's been up at the top of my kitchen cabinet for the last few years. It's made out of a bunch of random sets, as you can tell. A lot of castle pieces, but also a lot of space pieces. And you have some, this is from one of the police sets, or Coast Guard, I think. We have some pirate people up there, and more space parts over here and over here. And I've had it up here for a lot of years, and I'm gonna take it down for the first time in years, and make a video of it. So this is the first piece. The entire castle is actually modular, and each part is supposed to be like a standalone set that connects with all the other parts. It was kind of something that I always liked in toys as a kid, when you could buy two toys and put them together. And so that's what I was going with this. Obviously, you can see, as far as colors, I did not go for any color scheme whatsoever. I was just pulling out whatever pieces would fit, especially when I got to this one towards the end. I was just finding whatever pieces would continue to build a wall, and it turned out looking okay, aside from the crazy colors. I would have rather had it more uniform, and I think on future projects I will go for that. And as you can see, there are also a lot of minifigs in this set. This was where I pretty much put every minifig I had left that hadn't been doing something. Well, that's not true. There was a lot. Oh, excuse all the dust on this. These have been sitting up for a long time. But I put together all the minifigs that seem to go together. Like, these are from the old pirate sets, and see if I can get that to focus. So these are the I guess supposed to be like British troops, and they're pretty much the same. You see when you see them all. Some of them are blue, some of them are in red. Let's see if I have a red one. Then some have these cornered hats like this, and they all come with these really neat old-fashioned pistols. Now these I have a lot of them, obviously from this set you can see, and I decided to use that to sort of define the roles here. This part of the castle was designated as the prison, and as you can see, in my castle we have the usual problem with prisons is overcrowding. As you can see, the prisoners are mostly these pirate figures, and this is one of my favorites, the old Redbeard with his peg leg and his hook hand. And he always seemed like the leader pirate, like there should only be one, but I always had many of him. And these sets go back to my childhood for the most part. Some of these, well, the ones I got when I was older, I guess technically an adult, like this one, I don't remember exactly what he's from, but as you can see, he has one of the modern style faces. You know, after they left the whole smiley face, and they decided to do more expressive faces, and then he's got a really nice print on the front and some really nice accessories. I don't remember exactly what set he's from, but I think I will come across that again when I go through my books. Now this, let's start looking at the castle itself. So as you can see, it is built like a prison. Solid walls on every side, except for right here. We have prison doors, and it's the kind of thing where, oh boy, cobwebs. This has been up on the shelf for a long time, but as I was saying, it's the sort of thing where you can always put sort of a piece on the door here and consider it locked. But then the door has a multi-function because this is, when I first started building this, I wasn't thinking of it as a prison. Also, I wanted to point out here, as you can see, I'm using the crater base plate from the old space sets, and I've heard that that's a much sought after piece, that they're not making them anymore, and I'm not sure why they wouldn't make them, but they really should. And then over on this side, this is the most prison looking part of it, and I had some fun building this, putting together those little bars. Here are the connector pieces, which I will show later. And then this is a little drawbridge thing that will eventually, or it will go down to the bottom here. Let's see, move one of the prisoners out of the way. That will go down to the bottom, and as you can see, if you open the doors, you can have a fully accessible castle. And well, with this part a little bit unexplained at this time, but you will see that it actually connects with one of the other parts of the castle. Okay, and this piece, you might have figured out that I was getting a little desperate for parts at this time. Still doing multicolored. I had an idea with this wall doing some castle parts, but kind of didn't come together. The idea of the gate was supposed to be like a well, it doesn't really make sense without the context of the rest of the castle. So I will point out later why that part is gated in. This one is sort of dollhouse style, where it's just the three walls on one side and open on the back, and of course using many space themes. Let me see, I don't have a minifig there. Okay, here's Mickey Mouse to show you how the laser works. Oh, yeah, he's got tails. I don't think he can do that. Well, Mickey, we're going to leave you right there. Okay, here is a race car driver. And I'm just going to seat him right here. And so that is the space laser, which is not typical for a castle, but it's something I like to make. Just sticking off little parts here and there in pointy ends. And since I was not building a spaceship this time, I just decided to make one. So this set around the other side, as you can see, it's actually one of the older base plates, and this one is unique, and in that see, it has these white dots on there. Those are the guide dots for building the set that this base plate came with, and that's something that I don't know that they ever did aside from this particular set. Probably they did, but obviously they don't do that kind of thing anymore, because typically they want to leave the sets open for master builders and all the new words that they call people now, where after the Lego movie. This one is, this was up on the corner. As you can see, also many minifigs here. I used much of the town minifigs, obviously the firefighters and the race car drivers. And for, if I was going to build a town out of all my Lego sets, I would have way more race car drivers than any other profession. Now this one is also in the dollhouse type set in a way, because it's open in these odd places. Also, as you can see, another space laser. This is more of the satellite dish variety. But then another laser right here as well. And up here on the upper floors of the castle are these windows that came with space sets, and they are always annoying to build with because they have such an odd angle that they don't they are not very versatile in how you can use them. I always preferred the ones that were half of this that stuck together in the middle, so that you could stick them together for this angle, but you could also use them individually or use them put the other way in a slanted window in one direction instead of jutting out in that odd way. Although it does remind me of being a kid and the way that spacey things looked when I was little, and he would have thought that in the future all our windows would look like this. Now here, this bit looks incomplete, and that's because it actually connects together. You can see the smooth pieces right here, or they would be smooth if they didn't have stickiness on them. So I guess this is a little bit of a warning. If you're going to store your sets in the kitchen tends to have a little more grease in the air, and so all my sets are all the outside pieces are a little sticky right now. Gonna need to wash them before I do anything else with them. And but this base plate here is actually from a castle set, and it's an older castle piece. It actually has the castle gates right here up front, but this base plate has been used in many castle sets. So there is a set of doors here. Oh, and the thing that I was saying earlier about locking the door, there is a lock on this door, so it can't be opened from the outside. And obviously there's also a motorcycle police officer who's ready to ride if need be. Now on the original set that this was a piece of, this was the dungeon. And so we have one of the pit crew hanging down in the bottom there. Around to the other side. Now I really like how this turned out. It was meant to be, it's open so that it connects to the other sets. But it also made it nice and accessible to reach what's going on inside. It's kind of a design that happened accidentally, but that I might like in future sets. Maybe putting a little fence here and some pieces here and completing this off, and considering that a complete wall, even though obviously from an actual strategy in castle building, you wouldn't want a big opening on the one side. Also the strategies in building Lego sets are, how am I going to play with this? That is, if you do play with it and not leave it in your kitchen for 3 years. Okay. And this is the center piece of the castle. It's obviously falls under the same sort of rules of building, no particular colors, and lots of space mixed in with the castle sets down here. And I was going for sort of a uniform look at first, but I didn't really stick to that. And so this was the one that I used the actual castle minifigs with, and then also some of the little Robin Hood sets. These guys go back a while, a ways, like back to the 80s, I believe. This, let's see, I'm not going to be able to turn it with one hand, I don't think. Okay, so the first little bit here is, you can see there's a door that opens up right here and goes into the inside there. This is the first little connector on this for connecting to the other sets. And so this opens up and then the other set plugs in right here. And but that's not the only place where it connects. It also connects over here, and this was actually something that I was quite proud of. It wasn't really planned out so much as just messing around. As you can see, this particular base plate, it has like mountain sort of areas on the sides, there and there, and then it has like a river in the middle. And so in the center of the castle, I have a bridge, a couple bridges going over it, but this larger bridge in the middle, it actually goes into this bit, which is a drawbridge, and it opens up quite nicely where this piece here connects and just rests upon it. So this piece here can do two things. It can rest on the ground outside of the castle, or it can connect to the other bit of the other side of the castle. So we're going to leave that closed for now and try to move this around. I think I need two hands for this. Okay, so here's the other side. I have a nice little tower here, just very simply built. The yellows are the whites are now looking yellow. Quite a bit of oxidation on my older white pieces. So we have these are some of the simpler castle minifigs, and then the ones with the more intricate helmets here. And so my older ones just had smiley faces. These have a little bit of facial hair over the smiley face. And as you can see, there's a better look at the bridge, or the bridges. Little ladder is climbing up. And then over here, and then this was the purpose for the gate on the other end of the river on the other castle, because basically this whole area was kind of a it's a river that flows through under the castle, but it's also has it's home for alligators and ghosts and skeletons. And I don't know why all those things live together, but they do. A nice little chain there and a wizard. And this thing, I never understood what this little basket was on the back of these figs, but there it is. And then that is all the parts of the castle. Oh, there's one other bit here. This one is a door that connects to the big side of the other castle that we just saw. So this door took me quite a long time to get right, just making it this size, because all the pieces here are integrated throughout the castle, so it's very sturdy, and it's exactly flush to the rest of the pieces here without cheating at all, or making it look. It actually it kind of looks the most castle-ish with the color scheme and everything, even though I'm hiding the random pieces back here. And that obviously space pieces here, space piece right here. But that is the castle, so let's put it all together. Okay, and this is everything all together. I had to put it down on the floor to put it up. As you can see, it was not in this configuration when it was up on the shelf, because that shelf was straight across, and we have kind of an L shape for this. The little bits here. Oh, so this opening here opens into this one. This prison wall right here kind of shares the wall and fills this out. We still have a door here, and you know, I had thought that this drawbridge connected, but it didn't. This is just an exit to the outside, and as you can see, the river sort of flows through. When I had this all put together last, I had more base plates here. I had river base plates. I had another little building with a race car in it over here, which was sort of the garage, and but that's put away right now. And then this one over here, this one that was sort of a dollhouse style, now shares the wall with this wall right here. And you have to be more careful with the space laser not to shoot down the space dome over here. And so that is my multicolor space castle modular. I guess the only other thing I can do is show you how it comes apart here. So this one is fairly simple. It just slides right out, and then that door comes up or down. This one is just left open. So this is that particular big door that when you slide this out, so that door covers this opening here, and then that opening goes right into there where the door covers. And then of course this one right here is rather snug. It has this this bit right here which covers the opening in between them, and it just sort of slides out, and it fits really nicely, and there's an extra little arrow there to tell you where to go. And then on this side that can close, and now it's all modular again. And that is the biggest Lego castle I ever built. Very, very far from the biggest Lego. Let's try that again. Very, very far from the biggest Lego castle that has ever been built. But it was something that was quite fun for me. At a time when I needed to just connect with my inner child, and obviously it took a lot of hours, and the main reason for this video is that I'm going to be taking it apart pretty soon, and so I wanted to just document all this